You told him to get his ID, sir, and his driver's license. Oh my God! Please don't tell me he's dead.
Don't touch me.
Get out of the car.
Don't touch me. I'm not under arrest. You don't have the right to take
You
me.
are under arrest.
Big ball. Big ball.
Did you see what he was wearing?
Yeah, a dark hoodie, like a gray hoodie, and
We want justice by any means necessary. We want equality by any means necessary. We don't think that we should have to sit around and wait for some segregationist congressmen and senators and a president from Texas in Washington, D.C. to make up their mind that our people are due now some degree of civil rights. No, we want it now.
One, two, three. Every one of you three guys, they're predicting will go to prison. How many of you guys know somebody that's been to jail or prison before? Yeah. That's way too many. So we have to change the statistics. We have to change what they think about us, minorities, and black, young males, Hispanics, anything. They predict that we're gonna go to jail. So we have to change that statistic, you guys. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jeremiah. So I'm in Houston right now doing an interview with my boy Jay Sean Slusher. He's a local business owner, young black man doing big things here in Houston. So your business is called Slusher Solutions, correct?
Slusher Solutions. It's a business. Yeah, no, I love it, and I take pride in just taking care of my customers and making life easier for them. You know, there's one more thing you don't have to worry about.
That's awesome, man. As a young man in your mid-20s, like I said, did a little research on you. So you about, what, 25, 26?
I'm 26 right now.
26? Okay, I was right. What led you to start your own business?
Actually, what led me to start my own business was one of my greatest misfortune, rather. Where I parted ways with my job, and I needed income. So I had this idea of sitting on this idea for like a year and a half, 2 years. I got inspired by another company, but nevertheless, I was sitting on this idea, and man, I went for it. I just decided today is the day, and I just started. You know, I made a website, got my business name authorized, and instantly, man, I just put my feet on it. Yeah,
that's awesome.
The thing that made me feel that way is I read a book when I was in high school by Napoleon Hill called Think and Grow Rich. With one of the chapters in the book, he discusses R.U. Darby. Now, R.U. Darby is the first man to ever make $1 million selling life insurance. But it happened because of his greatest failure.
Well, how important is education to your success now?
Man, it's vital. It's extremely vital. You have to, and what I will always say to people, what you learn in the classroom is very vital, especially when you go into your field. But you never stop learning. A lot of education people miscredit because they didn't get it in the classroom. You know, the things you learn, being active, doing interviews with people, just pursuing different avenues professionally, you gain so many people skills and soft skills that you really don't get in the classroom. So all your education is vital, not just what you learn in the classroom, but it's important that you're aware of what's going around you and you go out in the world and learn from there as well.
What are some of your strategies to start your own business?
It was all out of pocket. I already have
That's the best way.
Yeah,
You're not in debt.
it's the best way if you can afford it, but if you can't afford it and you believe in yourself, you believe in your business, I would definitely say there's nothing wrong with taking a loan out. If you have to get investors, if you need it, go for it.
Good advice, good advice. What are your aspirations as a business owner, and how do you plan on attaining longevity?
My aspirations as a business owner would be to dominate the Houston market, and actually the Huntsville market is where my next place of interest is, because I'm a Sam Houston graduate. And I have other businesses I want to start, just being consistent, just the way you deal with people, the way you do business, the way I take care of my customers, the way I take care of their tenants. I expect that'll provide me with longevity.
Awesome.
So here as an adult, man, I've completely decided that if I follow Christ completely and I submit to what God has wanted me to do, and I'm under His headship, if I can be disciplined enough to stay in the confines of what Christ has me doing, which thus far I feel like I've been doing okay, nobody's perfect, but I've been moving in that direction, then as far as being disciplined and dealing with people in the world, I should have no problem.
Right. And you mentioned your ministry. What ministry are you involved with?
My ministry that I kind of started was just me and my friends. It's not official, but we call it Mountain Movers Ministry. We have an Instagram page, and what we've been doing is every Saturday, we go downtown Houston, and we feed the people. We feed the people that are out there, and we try to feed them physically and spiritually. So
Every Saturday?
every Saturday. I've started. I started this year, and I ain't missed a Saturday yet. It was raining this Saturday. I got a poncho, and I went out there.
Wow. How do you balance your life, your career, relationships, your finances, family, spirituality, and also making time to have fun? How do you balance it all?
Okay, well, I would start with the obviously, like I said, the most important thing is spirituality. I dedicate, I don't know how much time to that. Sometimes more often than not, but I think every day I spend at least an hour with God. I spend at least an hour either watching a sermon or listening to a sermon. I'm not just like trying to say I'm holier than thou, but I try to spend an hour with God. And of course on the weekend, again on Saturday, that's what I do for fun, man. So my spirituality is there again, and my girlfriend, she comes with me. She enjoys spending that time with me, so that's what we do for fun on a Saturday. And then you know, other than that, I'll go catch a movie or I'll play chess or dominoes with a couple of my buddies. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's the Lord doing His work, taking care of my business, and my girl. That's it. I don't got time for much else. Or my family.
You got your priorities lined up.
Yeah, that's it.
Next question. How did you avoid the street life, crime, and not being another black male statistic?
Chaos in the streets. Teens accused of joyriding in a stolen car, then taking off on.
End result, more individuals being taken into custody.
That's a question that is a double tiered because I did and I didn't. I didn't completely avoid it. I fell victim to different scenarios that I would have avoided had I avoided crime in general or wanting to be a social deviant. I think social deviance is a period that all people go through, whether some kids decide, I want to be a pyromaniac, or some kids decide I want to smoke weed, or I want to join a gang, I want to steal cars. So we all go through our period, or they want to experiment with sexuality, whatever they want to do. We all have social deviance in us. And I just am blessed that I learned my lesson, that God showed me where I was supposed to be before I was detrimentally hurt.
Have you experienced racism in your life? And even with your business, have you experienced racism?
Not particularly with my business. Now in life, sure. I may have had my inhibitions. Like I feel like that didn't go the way I wanted because I didn't have the complexion for the protection.
What advice can you give young black males? General advice.
My general advice would definitely be find your passion, and really just whatever you find that you're passionate about, stay dedicated to it. Stay dedicated to it and break away from the crowd. Break away from the crowd, man. Because you were meant to be a leader. We were all meant to be leaders in our own right. So try not to outsource if you can, and stay to your passion.
That's cool. I like the way you use outsource.
Yeah, man, we outsource it. We're trying to get from the world what we should get at home.
Right.
And they don't have it for you.
Well, thank you, man, for doing this interview. I appreciate it, man. Keep up the good work.
Come on.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. How does education affect all of that?
So there are a couple of things. It's one, how are you showing up? And what I mean by that, how are you presenting yourself? One of the things I can appreciate in our culture is the origin of our history in music. I grew up in the 80s. I'm an 80s child. I love hip hop, I love old school rap, I love the transition of rap, I love some of the explicit rap, but there's a place for that. I don't present myself as what I hear in some of that music. And so I think what's happened is a lot of people have decided, okay, this is how I live, this is what I'm representing who I am, but you're really not. You're really not. Some of that stuff, some people are just making some of that music up. You know what I mean? Because people are buying it and they make money off of it. Let me keep doing that. And so what I see and what I perceive is people think, oh, being a drug dealer is something that's really important because I can make all of this money. That has a short lifespan. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So it's how are you showing up every day? You can't look like those people in those videos and expect people to treat you with respect. If those people in those videos are going out and saying they shooting people and all of this stuff and you think you're gonna have that attitude, there's some perceptions on both sides. There's not a whole lot of right on the police side, but there's some perceptions and some stereotypes that have been confirmed that make them act the way that they act. Right. There's some perceptions on black men and men of color that justifies their actions. But we all have a responsibility to treat each other with respect. I ask the question to you and to black men and to women of color, what are we doing? How are we showing up? Right. Now, with the education piece, when you talk about getting your certifications because there is racism out there, there is racism out there. And I experience it too, to this day. Even though I have my credentials that I continue to get my certifications because I'm looking at what is my skill set today? What's gonna be needed tomorrow? Where do I need to get some additional experience? When I was getting my master's degree, I knew the job I wanted. She said it's the weight, the emotions of everyday life that's pulling you which way you need to go. It's emotions, it's people wanting stuff from you, you're frustrated. But then there's also that weight of you being able to carry out your purpose in life. And which weight are you gonna focus on? Are you gonna focus on those weights that are emotional and you're frustrated and you're never pursuing your purpose? Or are you gonna accept the weight of what your purpose is in life? And that is so important that we accept the weight of the purpose of our lives. And in order for us to do that, we have to keep knocking on those doors. We have to keep telling people this is who I am, this is what I do. And you'll run across people just like you and I did. You just never know where that opportunity is going to present itself, where somebody will encourage you. And always be, it's not about seeking help, it's being there to be available to help somebody else. You just never know. It's in your day-to-day activities and how you treat people. And again, it's how you show up, and people will help you. So it's how you show up in pursuing your purpose.
So we not only have to ask ourselves the question of our purpose, yes, but also I think our whole relationship started with that one question: are you in college? And goes from there. So thank you for doing this interview so much. I really appreciate it. I love you.
I love you too.
And so I think that's where it needs to start. We need to ask ourselves the purpose question, and also we need to ask other people. And so I feel a responsibility now to even ask other people, are you in college?
Absolutely.
Why are you not in college?
Absolutely.
Because and do it in a passionate, loving, caring way. Don't do it in a negative way, in a condescending way. There's a certain way to do it. So you taught me that. That's probably the biggest thing you taught me, is asking that one simple question. Because I was always scared of that question, why are you not in college? Because I already had a whole bunch of answers, and you shot every one of them down.
Well, I'm so glad. Mission accomplished.
Right, so thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thank y'all for watching. See y'all in the next video.